So, welcome back to Pokemon, where I had to create an entire new map / chapter of this adventure from scratch.
I feel it. I feel it.
Because you guys took the bait that I did not expect you to take.
I feel like that's on you.
That is on me. I'm taking full responsibility for that one. I just did not. Yeah.
Mea
That's it.
culpa.
Alright. Well, we're not at the start of the day, so we don't really necessarily have to do anything. So I guess we'll pick up where we left off. Last time, in fact, yes, it would have been last evening, you guys arrived back at the Pokemon Center, all three of you, having earned the Spook Badge at this point, and discovered that apparently during your absence, an odd man had come by asking after you at the Pokemon Center. This man was not easily identified by the Pokemon Center nurse, but he did hand her off a mysterious envelope, or envelope, what have you. And immediately she handed this over to V as soon as she saw him, and after a bit of making sure that it didn't explode, or if it did explode, making sure that you got it on tape, you opened the envelope to discover that it contained cruise tickets from the Sylph Corporation.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Very clearly a trap, but you all decided that, you know what, to hell with it. Even if it is clearly a trap, you know, in the words of Kid, what could possibly happen? That's fine. So, you all decided that instead of going with your sweet old grandmama D, who had prepared an exciting
awesome
adventure
things
for you, yeah,
You're right.
Oh,
I am sad about that.
instead you were going to take a bite of the bait and see how the world was up there, where the people were. So you came up onto the cruise, and you discovered that rooms had been prepared for you. V, you were in a separate room. What did I call it? The Super Deluxe Suite, I believe was the name. And
Super Master.
Yep. The Super Deluxe Master Suite, and Milo and Kid are also situated in a very fancy room, but a double bed one, just across the hall from him. You found a Pokeball that appears to have been another little present from Sylphco. And then after that, you all decided that you should probably go around and, like, scope out the place, because clearly this is still a trap, and obviously at some point you may be expected to abandon ship, steal one of the rescue boats, and paddle it all the way back to Captain D, who is following about a mile behind you with your 3 new friends, question mark? 2 of them are friends. One of them is friend.
The D team.
Yeah, the D team. The D team. Yes, exactly.
One of them is friend. 2 of them are question mark at this point.
The team split up. V, you went over to get a tour, an explanation tour from the captain, which ended with you being able to finally discover the little pulley that activated the ship horn, which you did.
Hell yeah.
You also discovered that although the cruise liner is not owned by Sylph Corporation, they are a very significant donor to it, so they automatically get cruise tickets like every year, which is presumably why you are here. The rest of you also split up. Kid decided to go and find something fun to do, and find something fun he did. He ended up down below, underwater, in the underwater part of the hull, where they had installed a train track that took you around through the inside of the ship, showing you all the different stuff, but more importantly, it carried you very close to the side of the ship, which a part of it had been carved out some glass installed, so essentially as you're going along in this little very slow roller coaster ride, you can look outside and you can see all of the fun water Pokemon and contemplate the abyss and the endless blue expanse that unfurls below you. Because, you know, who doesn't love some thalassophobia on their cruise ship? They probably do have signs all along the side being like, if you are afraid of open water, do not ride.
Why are you here?
Yeah, like, this is not for you. Milo went to check out the rescue boats that are strapped to the side of the ship, and he did so quite successfully. He and Chester managed to get Milo down into one of the boats, and you're pretty certain that you know what would be required in order to unhook it and get it down into the water by now, and you also know that although there are cameras all over the place, it'll take a solid, 1 or 2 minutes before the security guards can actually come over there and yell at you. And while you were down there, you also made friends with a little 8-year-old who told you that apparently there was something shiny down on the raft, and you discovered a Premier Ball down there as well. So. Let me just get rid of this music for a second. We are going to start with Kid, because I worked very hard on this. Kid, you are deep inside the ship's hull. Where is my ambiance?
Young.
Ambiance. Kid. So. Through the belly of this incredible mechanic beast, you can hear eerie echoes. Some sort of rhythmic clanging somewhere far away, the hum of electrical generators, the occasional grinding of gears. You are in the center of a long stretch of rail. It's relatively narrow, but there is a little bit of space to step off the tracks, and you're pretty certain with how fast the trains were going, you would be able to see one coming anyway, so you're not necessarily in danger of being hit or anything. It's kind of like you had gotten off of the ride at one of those, Disney attractions, you know? And you are just now inside of the actual ride
It's a
itself.
small world after
Yes,
all.
exactly.
Absolutely not.
And then they...
Kid immediately sprints up here. It is staring at the well lord, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. You're separated by about a foot of glass from the world just outside this endless expanse. Miles and miles of open ocean and everything that dwells within it, as though by some miraculous roll of the dice, you are here alone, having cleverly escaped your train ride.
He's off the rails.
He's quite literally off the rails, yes, exactly. But you look to your left, you look to your right. You're definitely, here. The track stretches out ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Kid's just in awe right now. His eyes are lit up. He's got his little... I was telling them whenever all his clothes got wet, when he had the PJs on, he probably took one of those complimentary shower caps to replace his hat temporarily. And it kind of lifts that up so Froakie can see.
Oh yeah, Froakie definitely popped out of there immediately, and she's also now kind of not pressed up against the glass, but essentially staring out. She's grabbing onto your hair, looking all around.
He's gonna take his phone out real quick, and he starts to send them a better text, and then is nah, fuck it, I'll just call, and sends a video call to Milo and V real quick.
Who would be able to answer? I guess both of you would be able to answer at this point. You're kind of all lining up. V,
Yeah.
you get a video call from Kid. And
He'll
so do you, Milo,
answer.
as the guy,
Hello.
the security guy, walks away.
How does this work? Okay.
As soon as you both answer, you get like that horror movie, like Blair Witch Project flashlight underneath the chin, up towards the face.
Where are
Um,
Where are you? What is?
Listen. This is important, okay? Look, and he's gonna turn his phone so that both of you get like a very good view of the glass separating them, and probably the well or two little quillfish right there. And
what the
look at
fuck?
look at what they have on this fucking ship.
That's not necessarily on the ship. That's just adjacent to the. How? Where are you? Are you on some sort of,
This is this is the ship. They have a little roller coaster train ride thing that they might not have wanted me to get off of, but I have gotten off of.
Wow. I hate this. Can you please turn your phone back the other way?
Where
What,
is this? That is incredible.
You get like the weirdest motion blur as Kid just sprints along the glass down this way,
Oh,
just to give you guys like a really good view of the cool fish, and then little Kingdra.
Okay, all right, that is really cool. But is it dangerous? Like, are you gonna get hurt down there? Like,
I don't know. Can I knock on the glass near the Kingdra to see if it notices me?
don't do that.
How hard do you knock, I suppose, would be a question.
He'll start off gently, like just a gentle tap to see if it notices, and if it doesn't, he'll knock a little harder, and then a little harder, and it'll just kind of slowly go until it maybe notices.
Okay.
Dunk, dunk,
That
dunk,
might
dunk,
at
dunk,
this
dunk.
point-
idea.
At this point, V just hangs up.
Okay. Bye, V. I guess I'll go find him in a minute. All right. Where? Okay. You said there's a train. I guess I will go look for some sort of. They have a fucking train. What? Oh my!
They've got too much. They have way too much money. Way too much money.
Way too much money. All right. I guess either stay where you are or try to get to the exit. I'm gonna head to wherever that exits. I mean, obviously. Enjoy
Oh man,
yourself.
I just got here. There's no way I'm
Yeah,
leaving right now.
yeah. It's
Look,
gonna take
look
me,
at
like,
Froki. He'll point the camera at her. Like, I imagine, because Kid's practically pressed against the glass himself. I imagine she's got like one hand holding his hair, the other pressed to the glass, and her face up against it adorably.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're both just like gazing beyond. The Seadra doesn't necessarily. It's not that it doesn't notice you. It clearly notices the knocking at some point, and it kind of turns as it's swimming alongside the cruise ship. But because of the disparity of light between you, and because of the high refraction point of the glass, it's really hard for it to see inside. So it just kind of like turns towards you a little bit, kind of cocks its head, and then swims off.
Okay, have a good one, Kingdra. But yeah, I mean, feel free to find me. I'm probably going to be down here a little while, but if something happens, just let me know.
Okay. Same. Anything happens, call. And I guess we got a few hours till dinner, so just meet us at dinner. Good luck.
Someone
Have
also goes
fun.
off with like 3 different text messages.
Milo's just like standing on the edge of the ship, looking down at his phone, like, oh no.
And I suppose Acacia, because it's the group chat and they're also in the group chat,
Yeah, I was
gets
gonna
that with
I was
no
gonna say.
explanation.
Acacia just responds with, "What?" But yeah, kid, you're down there. Milo will get to you momentarily. And I have made this entire map for you, so I guess where would you like to go? Over to your right over here, you see the tracks disappearing a little bit further inside the hull of the ship. Just from being on this train ride previously, you know that, like, part of the way the train sometimes snakes deeper inside the ship and it shows off, like, this is our state-of-the-art mechanics, blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't show the, next to the water ride the entire time, but it's up to you where you want to
go. You're perfectly safe. You will never fall off of our train ride. Guaranteed.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
He'll probably spend a few minutes just admiring the view and then go the way that the train was headed just because, he was on it coming back from where it was, so he's already seen where it goes that way.
Yeah. Let me just double check. I think technically you came from this direction, so if you want to head the way the train was, you would have to head back towards the...
Go the other way, yeah.
Alright. So you continue heading for several... I was about to say miles. It's not that long.
Too much money, man. They have too
much.
Too much.
But you continue heading past. You see through the glass a couple of, like, Love Disc, Cedra, not a Cedra. God, I keep on saying Cedra. It was a Kingdra. There's, like, a Sea King. A swarm of fish go by. You see in the distance another swarm of, like, oh boy, how do you guys pronounce this? Carvana? 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 Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
I think so.
I can't remember how it's spelled at this point.
The thing is, I know Carvana is also, like, a car company out here now, so...
I'm pretty sure it's Carvana because it's based on a piranha.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Alright.
Yeah, Carvana.
But hell yeah, there's a little school of Carvana out there. Is there a Sharpedo?
You don't see a Sharpedo, but you assume. But the track turns around and heads deeper inside the ship.
Now, do I hear or see anyone that I might need to keep a low profile?
Roll me a perception check.
Smart.
Because I don't know how easily I'll be able to play off, not being on the tracks. That's only a 13.
A 13.
You have that 20 charisma, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you continue down the tracks. You don't hear anything. Weirdly enough, this track is long, and the train was going, approximately a little bit faster than walking speed, and also you stop behind, so that is already far ahead of you. You're not sure how often these trains come by, so you're keeping an eye out, but for now, there's nothing really much. All you hear is that same, like, weird metallic clanging coming from further down the tracks.
They really invested some money. Like, I know I said they had a lot of money, but man, they really had a lot of money to have a ride like this just down here for us. Did it cost? I didn't even ask. Did it cost anything to get on? Well,
it was like I think because of your tickets, I'll say it was free, but I think the general cost was something like 500 polka dollars, so like $5. Just comes free with the ship. You go around a turn in here. As you're getting further and further along, you realize that clanking that you keep on hearing seems to be getting louder.
Not the clank.
Is this like all level, or is it like going down or up right here?
Every once in a while it'll like go up a little bit as if it's going over a piece of machinery, and then it'll go down again. It's staying relatively level. But as you go around the S-curve, you look down in this direction, and you see that it actually seems to fork a little bit, and one of the paths is blocked off.
Oh man, oh beans.
Means you gotta go that way,
Yeah, it does.
right?
Okay.
See, it's
As
not that we don't have a. It's not that we have a death wish. It's just we don't have a lot of self-preservation instinct at this point.
It's like that, like, in the same way that we were trying to get that slugma, and we were doing, or Kid was doing everything besides jump into lava. It's that sort of deal.
I mean, it's you say no, you can't do that to a 14-year-old, so they're gonna do it.
Right?
I mean, essentially, yes. As you come down here, you see that there's like a little bit of a stairway that seems to go further down. The actual train tracks appear to be continuing further down this way, and why can't I click? But whatever weird clinking that you're hearing seems to be coming from down below on this staircase. You realize now that probably if you had been on the train itself, the clanging of it would probably cover up this noise quite comfortably, but now that you're just walking here in silence, it's obviously loud.
Gotcha.
Catch a Pokemon hiding in the bowels of the ship.
Now, can I try to be stealthy? I don't know how this, like, stairwell is lit, but
It's
can I try
not
to, like,
very well lit at all.
skulk down it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception check at disadvantage because you don't have dark vision, unfortunately.
No.
But Froki, who's still on your head, obviously, can also roll a perception check. I don't think Froki has dark vision either, but you get 2 rolls because she's with you.
Kid don't give a fuck, apparently.
Damn! Okay.
Hell yeah.
You see...
I don't know why it runs fire on something that's probably inconsequential,
Yeah.
but
Why not?
I will say that you're kind of like, you have your flashlight on, but you're kind of holding your hand over it. So it's only giving off that really low, dim, like, red light shining through your blood veins. Go ahead and roll me a stealth, not at disadvantage, since you can see shit, apparently.
Oh no.
that was only a 9, unfortunately.
Alright. You creep down the stairs, and you immediately see a couple of things. First of all, there's like a light switch on the wall, and you're like, okay, I could flip that if I really wanted to. But then you creep down to the bottom, and you see very vaguely the outlines of something. And just as you're peering closer, trying to figure out if you see something moving, you hear your foot hit a piece of metal, and it just goes clang, 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 down to the bottom of the stairs, and immediately the noise and the clanging stops.
Uh-oh. That's not foreboding at all.
It's
Alright. How far down am I, like, along the stairs now?
You're about halfway down. It's only another, I would say, 4 or 5 feet to whatever floor you can vaguely see.
Alright, I'm gonna go there.
Okay. You creep a little bit further down, and with your 24 perception check, you begin to see that this appears to be some sort of, what would I call it? Like not an engine room, but one of the main, like, machinery rooms, I suppose you could say. There's a large, some sort of mechanism over to, at the one edge of the room, there is some sort of open, like, cable, box implanted into the floor where cables are kind of jutting out a little bit. But everything appears to be still.
And, you said that the clanging stopped?
Yep.
It's just dead silent now. Hate it.
Okay, can I turn my flashlight on and kind of, like, cup my hand around it to focus the beam a little bit? so it's not just blindingly open. It try to do a quick sweep.
Sure. Roll me another perception check, again without disadvantage. And I am trying to see something, but for some reason, Roll20 really hates me. And, oh my god, I'm gonna just post this. I'm gonna post this to the actual, like, chat, because literally I am trying to do something with the Pokemon, and all it is giving me... Hold on, I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm seeing here. God damn it. Am I gonna have to reload my Roll20? Is that what's happening?
I have to, like, 2 or 3 times a game. I just get frustrated and go, fuck, shit, reload. F5.
This is all I'm seeing here.
That's not good at all.
Looks great.
Hold on. Let me just reload something really quick before I go any further, and while you're rolling your...
We are in absurd danger. We can't even see it.
Even God can't see what's up.
Alright. Give me my stuff. Roll20. Give me my stuff.
Kid's not nothing, but apparently he's perceptive as fuck.
Apparently. Can see it all.
What is going on? Hold on. Okay, it's just that's broken for some reason. Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Cool.
Not like you needed that.
Yeah. I literally was fine like a second ago, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's see if this one works. Okay, this one works, so we're just gonna do it from this one. What did you roll in your perception? 25. Damn. What is going on?
Look, when there's danger afoot, it's shenanigans to be had. Kids there.
There's absolutely nothing I can do against this. Very well. As you sweep your things around, you're actually, although you're not being extremely stealthy, you know where to look, and you can kind of scope out this room and guess, okay, if I was something and I would be hiding, I would probably be hiding over there. And you shine your flashlight over, and you immediately catch a glimpse of something moving, but it's not moving as if it's skittering or like crouching or anything. Instead, you see gears beginning to spin, and you see some sort of Pokemon, you presume.
It's a clean.
Oh, look at him. Look at the little dude.
It's so cute.
So cute.
Appear in the thing, and as you're kind of doing this, the other one also can't roll to not be perceived by you. So you glance over on the other side, you see another one, like a matching set.
Oh, that's cool. Are they helping to keep the ship going? Or are they just hanging out?
You kind of sweep your flashlight around. One of them is spinning nervously. The other one is frozen in a maybe if I don't move, I won't be seen fashion. Roll an insight check for me.
I'll blend in.
Okay. You're not sure, honestly. It's very difficult to tell if they did have some sort of purpose on this ship. It doesn't look like they're connected to any sort of machinery or anything. But maybe. Seems like it could be.
He's gonna try not to appear threatening. He's just kind of like holding his hands up, like, "Don't worry, because you said one of them looks nervous. Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. Are you guys okay? Are you supposed to be here? Do you need help?"
I'm wondering if this would be a charisma or poke handling, but regardless, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. One of them begins to slowly kind of sink further and further down into this little cable part here. The other one is still frozen, a la, I'm just a part of the wall. But both of them
Just
are
machinery.
Yep. But both of them are
Don't
keeping a
look at me.
very close eye on you.
I mean, like, you guys don't have to, like, worry or anything. You'll kind of lift the cap so that they can see Froky and try to let him know that he's not here to do anything. Well, I mean, he is here to do something, but it's not like do something to them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But kind of, like, cautiously walk up to this one, because the other one seemed, like, more spooked, and this one was at least not, like, no movement, T-Rex I can't see it. He'll just kind of, like, peek in to see if he can get a better look at it.
You peek in and you see a bunch of cables, honestly. It's just kind of going further and further. You see a couple of the cables seem to be disconnected, but the Clink is not necessarily running from you, but just kind of like going whoop, 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 and just kind of trying to tuck itself deeper into whatever machinery it had either come out of or maybe made itself a nest here, who knows.
Now, keeping with this train of bad decisions, can I reach my hand down in, kind of like, you know how when you see a stray dog or a stray cat, you kind of hold your hand out to let it sniff, but you're not making a move towards it, you're trying to give it the opportunity?
Roll me, roll me a Pokemon handling check, an animal handling check, please.
And see, this is doubly bad because not only are there cables, it is a set of gears that, even if it doesn't mean to, it might just
metal.
chomp his finger in the gears by mistake.
Alright.
Okay.
You rolled well.
Yeah, you rolled pretty
You
well.
might not lose a finger.
The Clink doesn't seem to be fully convinced of your intentions, but it doesn't react negatively either. Roll me another perception check just for funsies. 18, okay. As you're kind of holding your hand out, and because it's not attacking you but also not retreating from you, you look at this Clink. It's a little bit larger than one that you would, like, probably presume to see in the wild. And it has a couple of, like, wear and tear scratches on it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's just how Clink operate. But you also glance down into the cable box, and you begin to see that there's definitely not only some disconnected cords, but a heavy amount of damage further inside. And you're not sure if that's healthy. I mean, the ship seems to be running fine, but...
They're destroying the ship from the inside.
I mean, they're Clinks. I think they eat machinery.
So we're doing them a favor.
Did you know you have a Clink infestation?
Well, I don't think I have any metal to entice them with. That's the issue here.
You might just have to catch them like a normal trainer.
Could I convince you to come up out of there, little guy? I don't know necessarily if you should be there, but also with the amount of money and the type of people involved in this, you might not be warmly welcomed if they catch you.
It kind of considers you.
He kind of like is letting Froky be a sort of intermediary for him, because, like, one, it is, doing damage, but two, now that he's thinking about it, he is kind of worried that they might get treated the same way as Onyxes were, and I don't think Kid is going to want to let that happen.
Mm-hmm. You kind of reach out toward, speaking to it. It's clearly listening to you with with your excellent roll. It doesn't think you're a threat necessarily, but it keeps on kind of like spinning nervously every once in a while and then glancing over at the other one that's just frozen. And for a second you look over your shoulder to look at the other Clink, and it seems to make some sort of split-second decision, and in a flash, it kind of whirls away, and it whirls up the stairs and disappears from sight.
Oh, they're going to go get Clank.
Mom!
Kid's gonna be like, I think your friend just left. Do you want to go with them?
It considers, and then a moment later zooms up and zooms around your head and follows.
Can I try to follow?
You can try to follow. You go up the stairs. Make me a perception check, because they're no longer clinking and clanking, but they did disappear somewhere. That's still pretty good. You're pretty sure that you don't see them down this long stretch of hallway, so you think they may have gone further down here.
Okay, then Kid will just keep on trying to make sure either they're okay or they're not being, orchestrated by someone to mess up the ship.
Okay. You keep on going down this hallway. You spot another staircase that you presume leads further down into the same room that you were just in. There's a little turnaround in the hallway, and you find also that there is a little internal map, presumably for the engineers that work on this.
Is there like a "you are here" sign?
Yeah, essentially, like an emergency evacuation version of that. Yes, exactly. Still no sign of the clinks, weirdly enough. You walk around and you see actually another staircase that leads up this time instead of down.
Okay, and I'm not hearing anything further down the actual part.
You're not hearing anything further down the actual hallway, and yeah, you just glance up the staircase, but this one, the difference is that it leads up and then it leads on to a small walkway, and then there's a door that you see in the half gloom, and there's actually a light bulb that's up there. It's pretty dim, hard to see, but it is there.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go pop up there real quick to see if maybe they skedaddled up here, maybe.
Okay. You creep up, you step onto the landing. Roll me a perception check. Lots of perceptions today, sorry. Okay. Yeah, excellent.
That's just dungeon exploration.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially when you're alone.
Wait a minute, we've done this before in Strahd. Oh no.
I know. Luckily, we're still children. You're not going to be mean like that now, right? It wasn't until we got rid of baby deaths that the gloves came off.
Should have just stayed as a child. You wouldn't have been able to kill us then.
Oh yeah, that was the trick all along.
You wouldn't kill a child, would you?
Right? Strahd would feel way too bad and just leave us alone.
For sure.
He couldn't kill Kid.
Kid, as you creep up onto this landing, you notice a couple of things. First of all, you notice a vent that is way too small for a human to crawl through. There's a fan that's spinning there, but it's spinning pretty slowly. The blades are rotating easily enough where you're like, if I was a clink and I was trying to get out, I could potentially sneak in there. The other thing you hear is actually voices, muffled because they're coming from behind the door, but there are two distinct human voices behind this metal door, which is closed, but clearly not locked because you don't see any sort of lock. It's just you can turn the handle and open it, but yeah, you hear a couple of, you think they're men's voices just going
So I can't make out what they're saying.
If you want to get closer and put your ear to the door, you probably could.
Sure.
Okay. Alright. Roll me a stealth check for fun as well.
What's the worst that could happen?
You get up to this door, you kind of creep up, and you put your ear to it, and the voices do resolve after a while, and you come into the middle of a conversation, it seems. Go, fuck, fucking told you we should have never gone through freaking Unova. Every single time we go to Unova, we get something. We pick up something. It's either the Joltics. The Joltics are the worst of it, I'm telling you. Sucking all of our power. The freaking infestation of them. Oh, they're everywhere. And it's like, oh, get rid of the Joltics. What am I supposed to... You're not paying me enough to get rid of the Joltics. And now all of this. And there's another voice in there that goes, oh, well, what are you going to do? What do you think? They're just going to pay you for that stuff? Anyway, I couldn't give a shit. It's fine. Listen, hey, how is it? And, it just kind of continues for a while.
Just griping about their jobs.
Just griping about their jobs. A couple of times you hear them say, I swear, the conversation kind of lulls and then goes up again. He goes, no, well, I'm telling you, I keep hearing this stuff down there. Like something every single time. The clanging over and over and over again. Tired, and every single time I go down there, I'm telling you, it's the Joltic. What do you mean it's the Joltic? What would a Joltic be clanging with? Are you fucking stupid? What is it gonna do? You think they're like an inch tall, 4 inches at most. Well, I've seen a Joltic that's like 8 inches. No, you haven't. Get off of it, you piece of shit.
The 7th stealth is probably kid laughing at this point.
I mean, yeah, you kind of start to chuckle to yourself, and for a second, like, you slip a little bit, and there's a kung, and you hear the voices stop and goes, see, like that, just like that. Come on, I'll show you. I'm gonna show you. There's fucking Joltics.
Just as bad on their freaking perceptions.
But eventually, you hear the chairs scraping back, and you hear footsteps beginning to approach the door where you are. What are you doing?
Okay, kid's gonna scooch on down here, and he's gonna go towards this corner.
Okay.
And wait to see where they go.
All right. Oh boy, hold on. I gotta roll.
Pokemon became Metal Gear Solid all of a sudden.
Right.
Roll me another stealth check as well. Damn. Yeah.
Hey, when it counts, I guess.
You slink around the corner, you press yourself up against the metal wall, and then you peer around just a little bit. You and Froki kind of Scooby-Dooing it up. One of her large eyes poking out, but you're in the darkness now. You hear the door open and then shut, and then a couple of sets of footsteps coming down the stairs. You see a larger figure come out and kind of glance about both ways, but you duck back behind quickly enough to, essentially not notice, and goes, I'm telling you, it's here. I don't hear anything, man. I don't even know what you're talking about. Probably something... No, I'm telling you. And I keep on finding every single time. It's the clanging, and then I go over there and something's broken. Well, you think a Joltic did it? You think a Joltic did? You think a Joltic's out here running around with a pipe wrench or something? And unscrewing all the bolts? You think that's what's happening? Get off of it. And they just continue to gripe like that for a while. They stand and listen. They don't hear anything because you're being quiet enough. And eventually, after some more muttering, you hear them basically just go back up the stairs and close the door again.
Man, I really want to go look for those clangs, and I feel like they might have slipped through that vent.
You can fit.
Okay, if I go back up here and look at that vent, does it look like there's any sort of scrapes or anything, like, because, they're little metal cogs whirring. And if they went through it, would they have left any marks on it?
You kind of glance up at the vent. Clinks are tiny, categorically, by Pokemon rules, by Pokemon 5e rules. You think that there's scrapes on the vent. Nothing that looks fresh necessarily, but you're like, they could have slipped through without it. Especially if, based on the conversation you just overheard, they've been doing this a lot. So, hard to say, but entirely possible that they've just gone down this vent.
Okay, if I go out here and bang on the wall real quick, haul ass over here. Can I try to bait them back out to go look down in that room?
Roll me a deception check.
Hey, with a -1, that's honestly not as bad as it really could be.
That's
Right.
Yeah, that's not bad. The door opens. I just rolled for them as well. The door opens and they come out again. I'm telling you, I heard it. It wasn't. Look. You're just freaking. Come on. No, I'm telling you, it's right down there. Come on. And you hear thunk, 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 thunk. They come down the stairs. One of them peers around the corner. This way. I heard it this way. It's coming from over here. Get off of it. Listen, whatever that was, it was different from the clanging that you were describing before. So now either you're hallucinating. So maybe we've got a drowsy on the loose, or it's none of my business. So you want to go check it out? Be my guest. And at that point you see that they split up. One of them kind of scratching his head a little bit, heads down in this direction towards the room where the clinks were in. The other one, you see him kind of standing in the middle of the tracks, shakes his head, checks his watch, and then just walks back up the stairs, and you hear the door close again.
Well, we got one of them in. Now, if we go and attack this man and make a call for his buddy, will he go check on it?
I was just gonna say, you need to challenge that man to a Pokemon battle, and then when you win, he has to stand there forever and say nothing to anyone else ever again, because that's what they do in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I will say that, well, yeah, even if as a 14-year-old kid, you would know that, like, the vent system doesn't necessarily match up to the rooms, so I will say that it's not going to be quite as simple as, oh, I will go into the next room, and the clinks will be there, because the guys didn't say anything about the clinks being in that room, so
Yeah.
presumably you would have to go through the entire ship.
Yeah, well, Kid was really trying to get in there just to see where the vents go.
Mhm.
But just the other one didn't. He's not going to risk going down there. As fun as that would be, he's going to keep on keeping on.
All right.
If we find some more clinks or some Joltik, that'd be cool. But otherwise, I don't want to risk getting caught by two complete strangers as a kid on a ship.
Being where you're supposed to be.
Why is there a teenager on the tracks? Where did you come from?
I work here now.
Yep. As you go around this weird snaking hallway, you eventually hear noises that seem a little bit more familiar, and as you round the last corner, you realize that this is familiar because this is a track. And you come out at what is essentially the platform where the trains take off from. You see that the train which you were on is now sitting there, unloaded. The people are no longer there, but it looks like it is still active, so presumably they're waiting for the next round of passengers to be loaded up. So far, there's nobody here, but you also see that there's stairs on either side of here where, like, you know where those stairs lead to.
Well, I mean, I definitely would like to go find the clink, but I'm also not trying to get us flagged before we even figure out what's going on. So I guess Kid will just make his way out and make a mental note to let them know about the clink and the potential Joltik.
Okay. Sounds good. In which case, I will leave you here with your adventure. It was an exciting one, I'm sure. And we will go for just a moment back to the cruise ship. Where's my cruise ship map? Oh no, my cruise ship map. It's right here. Okay. All right.
Finding one of those is going to be the only way that you're going to be able to drag V down there.
Well, we need to get the clinks out of there because they're gonna make, they're gonna damage the ship. Maybe if
whatever.
we do that, then we'll earn some, like, goodwill from the ship captain, and we could use that to leverage ourselves against Silpho. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
Make allies of him instead of Sylph, and then maybe he'll cover us a little bit. Not let Sylph murder 3 literal children.
Oh, children, steal the lifeboat! Get away! Go! Go! whatever they could do to help us, I guess.
Oh, you fools!
I think I would like to now go back to V, who has finished up his little what do you call it? The tour that you were on. So I'll get the captain out of here because the captain needs to go have a nap. But you're alone. You can go back to your room. You can continue to explore. You just got the weirdest ass phone call from Kid and immediately hung up because you're not about that.
Yep.
What would you like to do?
This is like right after where he's like staring at his phone like, what the fuck? Why? This place is amazing, but why would they possibly do that? I guess you'll just kind of... I guess he's gonna go back to, like, the main reception hall.
Okay.
Where, like, they're over here.
Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah, you can come down there. You come down the stairs. I think probably this is the entry out to, like, the front of the ship where the loading starts, and these staircases lead up to further in the ship. So yeah, you can definitely go out there. The secretary that came in first is still there.
Yeah, he'll go up to her and just, like, pushes down his sunglasses a little bit to look at her and just... So...
Oh, yes,
As
how can I help you?
As an extremely important VIP, where can other VIPs, spend their time, hang out?
Well, there is several restaurants and bars on board, but I don't think you're quite old enough to get into the bars. There's a couple of lounges, but unfortunately they are entry only if you are over 18 or with a guardian. So if you have your guardian with you, you can go ahead and ask them to take you there. Otherwise, many people prefer to go up where the pool and the hot tub are. Many people spend their time up there. We also have a very nice observation deck if you would like to see the direction that the ship is going. We offer many sites. There's also an underwater train ride that you can get on and look down under the sea. We don't recommend that one if you're particularly afraid of water because
that's why. Why is that even a thing? Why is the bottom of the boat see-through, and how could that possibly be safe?
Well, that is a fair question. We do guarantee the safety of all passengers on the boat. The glass is thick enough to keep the water pressure from damaging the hull. It's just an entertainment value. She kind of smiles nervously.
How could you possibly promise that it's thick enough? Don't you know how strong the ocean is? How much pressure is down there?
No?
She just works on a cruise ship.
Yeah, she's just like, I really don't.
I mean, okay. How long have you worked on this ship?
I've been here for about 2 years now. I've worked on other cruise ships before. None that had the thing, but you don't have to
2 years and nothing. 2 years and nothing bad has happened. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, so far
that's
so
an
good.
Acceptable track record.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And as far as you know, it's never been a problem.
As far as I know, yes. There has been absolutely no breaches. They service it every time, they double check and make sure everything's fine. Every once in a while, we have an entire team of engineers dedicated to that train track. So far, everything's fine.
Right. Okay.
She kind of nervously glances around and goes, "Can I help you with anything else?"
And there's like, just in case the boat goes down, there's like boats and stuff that we could use to evacuate, right?
Oh, yes, there are in fact lifeboats attached to either side of the ship. If you wanted to look out on the second, third, and fourth level of the cruise, it's very easy to spot them. They are bright red. They are already inflated, so really, in the event of an emergency, they will automatically be released. They can also be manually dispatched as well, and they get right into the water. And we actually have a record-breaking speed for getting those things in there. So, in the event of any emergency, you can be assured that you will automatically be in those boats in less than 15 minutes. We actually have an evacuation procedure that gets all of the passengers off within 15 minutes, so you don't have to worry about that. I try not to think about it myself.
Right. How many people are on this cruise right now?
Oh, hundreds.
And how many people can the lifeboats hold?
She kind of nervously wrings her hands. So,
All of them?
all of them? Theoretically, yes.
No. What do you mean theoretically?
Theoretically, they should fit everybody.
Should.
As long as none of the boats are damaged.
Okay.
We have a Titanic situation. Just enough.
Right. Okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore, honestly. Where is the fanciest of those lounges that you were talking about?
It's probably up near the front, but the fanciest lounge, as I mentioned, I'm afraid is a little bit
I'll go
off
get my
limits.
guardian.
Okay, yeah, it's up the front. It's called the, it's kind of fashioned after, like, an old saloon, so we call it the saloon. But yes.
That's so inventive. Okay.
It's on the
I'm leaving now.
4th floor. Oh, okay, thank you, bye. And she kind of sits back down, and you see her face is a little bit pallid, as if you've made her think about things that she would also prefer not to think about. But yeah.
Good. Alright, I'm gonna go find the fancy lounge.
Mm-hmm.
And scope it out, see what kind of, like, security's on the door.
Okay. You go and find the fancy lounge. You walk past a couple of things. You walk past another place that is called, like, because they have maps all over the ship, right? So, like, you can also look and see, like, oh, this is a restaurant. This is, like, a bar. This is whatever the lounge is. The largest place that she had not mentioned is not a lounge, but it's called the ballroom. However, it's, like, kind of in the center, set into the front of the ship, but it's off limits for now because they are preparing for dinner. So you cannot go in there. They're just not allowing anybody in there. It's currently not in use. But you could try to sneak into there if you really wanted to. However, there's not going to be anybody in there. There's also the saloon that she mentioned is up front, and there's not security there so much as there's just, like, a guy at the front, essentially just, like, seating people as they come in.
Alright. Kind of scope it out. Is there, like, an employee entrance?
Roll me an investigation check, since you're scoping.
Sticky. Hell yeah.
Damn. Yeah, you glance at the guy in front, you glance around, you look at the maps, and you realize that if you were to go just, like, in another parallel hallway, you're like, wait, based on the way that this is organized, if I just go into the other hallway, there should be a staff room, like a staff entry on the other side. And you do. You walk around in there, and you wait until there's nobody there, and you do find basically just a door. It's not locked or anything. It just says staff only on it.
Alright, he'll just head in there.
Okay. Are you stealthing, or are you just kind of, like, walking in like you own the place?
Yeah, he is going to walk with purpose because people tend not to ask questions if you look like you're going somewhere or you're
Mm-hmm.
on the job doing something. So he's just going to.
Base stealth check.
Right.
Go ahead
He's
and
going
make me a
to
base
go for
charisma
it.
check.
Mhm.
Not even deception, just like charisma, since you're walking with purpose. Okay. Okay. You walk in, and you open the door, and you initially find yourself in what appears to be, and I'm sorry I don't have a map of this, but you find yourself in what appears to be, you're relative to the others, you're probably around, just on the ship itself, you're probably around here.
Mhm.
You walk into the staff room and you see yourself inside of a locker room. Lockers line walls right and left. There's nobody in here currently, but you also see another, not even like, it's almost like a swing door essentially. And from beyond it, you hear the sounds of kitchen. Clanging pots and pans, something burning, somebody calling to you, order up! But you're in the locker room.
Are there any like so like an apron around or something that like not like a uniform. He doesn't want to put on a whole uniform, but just like swipe an apron or something and make it look like he might be working here.
Okay. Yeah. I would say probably you test a couple of the lockers and you find one that is unlatched and you glance inside and there's like a balled up, like very dirty t-shirt, but there's also a relatively clean looking apron hanging from the hook and you just kind of grab that up, tie it around yourself. Seems to be fine.
Alright. He'll put it on just to walk through the kitchen, and then as soon as he gets out to the lounge, he'll kind of like take it off and hold it kind of just draped over one arm.
Okay, you're going through the kitchen. Now, here's the thing. It is chaos, and there's, you know, they're low-staffed, and they are distracted. Roll me a deception check at advantage because you have an apron on, and at a glance, you know, you do look like...
A child laborer.
You look like you belong here.
Yep. Okay.
He's trying to look older than he is.
That's another nat 20. Well, how many do we have now at this point? Okay, that's
Fine,
three.
guys.
Listen, when we want to up to shenanigans, you know, we're trying to get into some skullduggery. We're good at it.
I feel it
Yep.
deeply in my soul.
Yep.
You walk out of the kitchen, V. You walk through. All around you, you see a couple of waiters coming through, on your left, on you. Watch out, that's hot. That's not ready. This guy wants it medium rare. This is already overdone. It's so overdone, it's fetch. Trying to make fetch happen. It's raw. There's just a clatter and a din. The chef is yelling something out. You duck around somebody and goes, oh, excuse me. Just walk past them very quickly. It's not a long distance. And you come out and you find yourself on the inside of a bar with the bartender way too busy to really pay attention to you.
Yep. Just sneaks out past him and out into the lounge.
Okay. You kind of very carefully and casually, using your last natural 20, unlatch the door and just kind of go over and find yourself inside. It does appear to be like a lounge that is made to look as though it is an old-style saloon, but it's still very fancy nevertheless. There's not a lot of people here at this hour, but there's quite a few people. Most of them are by themselves. A couple of them look to be like they're either family members or business partners or something because they're sitting here chatting, but...
He was gonna look for like fancy people who looked fancy.
Okay. What specific fancy people are you looking for?
I mean, anyone who looks like they work for a very powerful company Or I guess like we heard there was some guy in a sparkly suit. I don't know if he would be here or not, but
Okay. Roll an insight check to see which one of these people looks arguably the fanciest.
6. Oops, not okay. Hold on. It would be the 16 because I have the thing I can reroll ones.
Oh, that's
But-
right. That's right. You glance around and probably I'm trying to like load up some sprites onto this map because I don't have a lot of sprites, and I'm like, no, that's a child. They wouldn't be in here.
That's a child. Only one child is in here.
Yeah, exactly. You do find the fanciest person here, although she's not wearing anything fancy at the moment. She looks like she's just in a generic robe that she got off of the cruise. Is a woman with like this bright pink hair that is currently holding like a glass of what looks to be maybe juice, and she's kind of finishing up a meal, it looks like. But as you glance at her, she wouldn't really catch your attention, but the way she holds herself just makes it feel like she is either very rich or very used to attention.
Dominates the room.
Yes.
There's your target.
Right.
Also, gym leader? Question mark.
Like, right, but except that her name was like crossed off the list, so I don't know if she like didn't show up to the cruise.
Maybe she's trying to be low profile. Maybe she doesn't want them to know she actually is here.
All right.
Or maybe it's
go.
just co-executive.
Yeah, right. It's gonna go great, but he'll walk up to her and just like he'll give her a
It could
smile.
be Magnus Ton. Just think, because it could be nicknamed
sure.
Maggie.
I didn't even think of that.
You do see the map down where you are, right? There's a little map on the bottom by the hallways if you wanted to move yourself.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you can go over to her. She kind of glances up at you cursorily, gives like a vague smile, looks down, and then you see her processing for a second what she just saw, and she looks back up and she kind of assesses you for a moment. And looks at the greeter who's outside, presumably vetting people coming in, smiles again, and goes, "Hi.
Hello.
Are you supposed to be here?"
Yeah, of course. I know. I look young.
Well, some people say that that's
Genetics.
a good thing.
Some people, but you wouldn't imagine what kind of issues it brings up all the time. Can I get you another drink?
Go ahead and roll me a deception check.
Insight check.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Come on, Charisma. I believe in me.
Okay, she kind of assesses you for a moment. You see her mouth quirk up. You're fairly certain that she is onto you. But she seems to roll with it, and she goes, "Well, I suppose I can't say no to an offer like that. Would you be able to spot me another juice?" She kind of holds up her half-empty glass and goes, "Maybe something for yourself too? Are you hungry?"
Yeah, I could eat. You weren't leaving, right? Were you leaving? I don't want to bother you if you were getting out of here.
"Oh no, I think I'll spend a little bit more time here. How about this? You buy me a drink, and I'll buy you lunch. How does that sound?"
Sure. Sounds good to me.
All right. She kind of pushes a menu towards you, glances or leans over her chair, motions to the bartender for a waiter to come over. And kind of gestures to the chair next to her. You're relatively sure at this point that she knows that you're a minor, but she doesn't seem bothered by the fact, so...
I mean, it's cheeky, right?
Cheeky.
He got in here, which means he's got skills. So we gotta recognize that.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess he'll look at the menu, and then whenever the waiter comes over, he'll just order I don't know, whatever sounds good, a sandwich or something, and 2 of whatever she's drinking.
Okay. Sounds good. You see that she's drinking like a non-alcoholic champagne, which is essentially just, sparkling juice.
Bubbly juice.
Bubbly juice.
It's like the stuff you buy at Christmas for the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
So like grape juice.
Yep. But she orders one for you and one for herself, and she orders whatever you point to on the menu. The waiter walks away after she's done. She kind of thanks him gently, looks back towards you, takes a sip, toasts to you a little bit, and then kind of like, well, thanks, motion. Roll me an insight check. She seems genuinely super, like, interested in however the fuck you got in here. Like, you see her watching you, and you're like, oh yeah, she thinks I'm cool as hell.
Yeah. So, what brings you to this cruise? Like, what do you... Is this something you do every year?
Oh, not every year, but every once in a while. Have to make money somehow. And she kind of toasts a little bit and goes, I work here part-time. Not every time, but every once in a while when they need my services, What about yourself? What brings you here?
I mean, I can't imagine someone like you working here, but I was invited, actually.
Oh.
And he'll kind of like flash her the golden ticket a little bit.
Wow, that's very interesting. She kind of leans down, looks at it, hums, goes, paid for by the Sylph Corporation, huh? Are you associated with them? Not
really. Honestly, we've had some dealings, I suppose, and I guess they just wanted to, can't think of the word I was trying to think of. Just treat us, me and my friends.
Wow. It's not often they do that. You must have done something truly impressive. She assesses you a little bit more and kind of raises an eyebrow and goes, are you a Pokemon trainer?
I am. Are you?
Very cool. Oh, I used to dabble. These days I don't have much time for trading, but in my youth, certainly.
Once upon a time.
Why did you stop?
Oh, it's not that I stopped, it's just that it got complicated. She kind of takes another sip, sets it down, looks at you, and goes, I do still care for my Pokemon very much, but work, life, business, it all gets in the way. It was fun, don't get me wrong, but eventually I started making money other ways, so I had to, kind of retire from that exciting life. But I was a researcher, actually, once upon a time. Not a very good one, mind you, but had to quit that and focus on, battling it out. She kind of very cutely imitates, like, fist fighting, but then laughs at herself. And then glances back over at you and goes, so, tell me about your adventures. I would love to live vicariously through you, if you don't mind. How many badges have you earned? What have you done?
Just the one so far.
I mean, that's a good start. When did you start training?
So it's been at least a couple years now, right? I mean, me and my friends, we started late, but
Mm-hmm.
3 years.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. Hard life. She kind of chuckles a little bit.
I mean, we're getting into it, but I mean, what you said you make money here now. What could you possibly do on this cruise ship after being a researcher and a Pokemon battler?
Oh, like I said, I wasn't a very good researcher, and battling doesn't really make you that much money unless you go for the big leagues. So,
Us.
I know that.
yeah, I can't imagine. No, I'm the entertainment, for tonight. I'm one of the performers scheduled for tonight's dinner. So, if you are indeed a special guest, maybe I'll see you there.
Probably. That's cool. I mean, it's different, I guess, than anything, but if you do you sing? Do you dance?
Yeah, primarily. You may have heard of my stuff, and at this point, V, you realize, and I realize because I actually told you this last session, this is probably the relatively famous, like performer, like singer. What do we call it? Like artist.
Pop star.
The pop star that you saw on the list of guests from before. You don't recognize her because she's kind of, her hairstyle is not done up the way it usually is, and also you remember her hair being a different color before, but she's clearly like dyed it. And you're just not used to seeing her like without makeup, but now you're like, oh, I probably do know who this is.
He'll pretend like he didn't realize, just so that she feels like a normal person.
So,
but he'll
tell me more about your
just,
Pokemon.
Like,
what have you caught?
I mean, he kind of like looks around over his shoulders, just like, well, they won't let us take them out.
Oh,
but
no, they won't. And she lifts up her hand and pulls on one of the sleeves of her robe, which has like big billowy sleeves. And she pulls it aside with one finger, and as you glance in, you see that she actually has like a Pokeball tucked inside the sleeve of her robe.
Never fully let go.
He's like, I won't tell anyone though. But yeah, they don't really they don't really like it when they make trouble, and many people don't properly train their Pokemon, so I guess I kind of understand, but...
I guess, but why let everybody, at least the ones who aren't responsible enough, ruin it for everybody else?
Yeah, it really is such a shame, isn't it?
I mean, can't show you them directly, but I could, and he'll scoot the chair a little bit closer to her and like pull out his phone and open the Pokedex.
Oh wow, you've seen quite a few. Oh, just recently here. And oh wow, your Pokedex was just recently registered. Would you look at that?
Yeah, re-registered. I had to get a new one.
Yeah.
You know
that's
how
a really
dangerous
cute
battling is.
Oh yeah, that's true.
She was my first one.
Oh really? What are you gonna? Have you evolved her yet? What are you gonna make her? Or what does she want to be?
I don't know. I guess I haven't asked. I'm not sure that she had a preference. But I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. There's so many options nowadays. They keep discovering more.
Yeah, that's true. Well, as long as it's something that makes you both happy, I think that's probably the most important thing, right?
Yeah. What do you have?
What is it?
Oh,
What is
it's just a little guy. And she kind of glances at the
I mean,
Pokeball
if
and
he's
goes,
little.
I can't let him out. Hold on. And she
Just under the
reaches into
table?
her.
What's your-
No, he definitely won't fit under the table. And she kind of looks for her bag and goes, I don't have my phone on her. I mean, I don't have my phone on me. Shoot, I would have shown you photos. It's, do you know what roll me a Pokemon check. Roll me a Pokemon knowledge, so Arcana. To see if you recognize the name of the Pokemon. I know you will, obviously. I want to see if you,
Right.
like SV, recognize it. She says the name of a Pokemon and you don't recognize what it is. Unfortunately.
Can I...
Look it up?
Is there a way to, like, look it up?
Yeah, you could probably put it into your Pokedex. Again, you glance through it. I don't want to like metagame essentially, but you see that it is a Pokemon that is native to. Shit. Wait. What are they native to? Generation
Where are you?
6. So Kalos?
That's Kalos.
I
I can't remember those.
Right,
those
I know
generations
it's-
in particular.
think
believe
it's
that's
Sun
Kalos.
Alola? No, Kalos.
Kalos,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's excellent one. That's where our starters are from.
That's right.
Right?
Oh yeah.
But anyways, maybe you'll get a chance to meet it someday. I'd love to meet you, Evie. And then she glances at her watch and goes, oh shoot, look at the time. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I have to start getting ready, but
Oh, of course.
it was really nice to meet
You gotta go.
And she kind of reaches across the table and she gently puts her hand on your forearm and she leans in and for a second her eyes get serious and she goes, hey, if you really were invited here by Sylph, just be careful, okay?
Honestly, before you leave quickly, do you want to know?
She glances around, goes, yes?
I don't really know why they invited me, honestly. And me and my friends, and we're here from invitation, but I mean, that's why I was here in the first place, is to try to find maybe someone to talk to about it.
I see. They invited you out of nowhere?
Well, I might have been talking about them online and kind of figured that was not a great thing, but then they went ahead and sent these tickets. So, here to find out why. Gotta know why, right?
I can understand that. And maybe it is a risk, but I can understand why it's a risk worth taking. Just, I'll keep an eye out too, just in case. And if they try anything, I'll be there too, so.
He'll quick scribble down his number on the napkin and pass it to her.
Okay. She kind of takes it, nods, folds it, and puts it in the same sleeve as where her Pokeball is. And goes, alright, just be careful. They're just from somebody who also gets tangled up in a lot of corporate stuff. They like to try to push you around. Just don't let them. And, you know.
I'm not about that.
Good. Kind of pats you a little bit, stands up and goes, well, it was nice meeting you. Good luck getting out of here. And she kind of gently, as she leaves, ruffles your hair because you realize that she probably realizes you got here, you know. She means probably the saloon, but yeah. Upon further inspection,
The implication.
implications. Yeah. And just kind of walks away.
Well, I'm going to at least finish my lunch.
Okay. You finish
before
your
we have
lunch.
to figure that out.
It's delicious.
Do you think you could convince them to give you an alcoholic drink while you're
Um,